there everyone, and welcome back to Napoleon Total War with the Chapter Eras mod here with the Prussian, or the Franco-Prussian War. I want to say Prussia first, so it becomes strange, because that's not what it's called. It's Franco-Prussian, not Prussia-Franco War. But oh, I'm winning, so I don't know why we wouldn't put Prussia first, but it falls off the tongue better to say Franco-Prussian War. Right. Because that's what it's called. The French, I have ended turn since last video. For some reason, the French have adopted 20 stack armies. So they've rallied some force under this guy, Gascon Camilliard. He's rallied some troops after his defeat there, getting ambushed. So he's rallied some troops. Probably, when I say rallied troops, he's assumed command over this guy. And his army, most likely, and he is heading way away from the fighting. The force that was potentially stopping Joseph as he was moving down to capture Marseille in the south of France, his way is clear. This army could have easily gone this way instead of blocked him. They decide not to, and so the way is open. Also here, these two armies decided not to retreat, but instead hold their position. They could have, or should have, I think, retreated here to gather strength against the coming storm, but that's not what they did. And what else? My trade agreement with the Ottomans broke because the Ottomans have lost Lemberg to rebels. Seems like there's a lot of rebels going around this area. I don't know. The Ottomans should probably have built a trade port here instead. So they could actually have traded with people and gained a little bit more money. I don't know what their mod threat, okay, but that's probably because they're conquering territories. Right, what I'm thinking today is that Frederick Holzer will launch an attack on Reims, leaving these armies cut off. Then, depending on really what happens, I'm thinking all these armies will just swarm in, and then we'll out-resolve this, because we'll have such an advantage over the troops here that it's not even funny, as they say. Right. So there's nothing really for it. Let's go ahead. Let's start off by moving this army, heading at full speed. And there's nothing standing in his way, and so it will take Marseille, and that actually frees up this navy, which I don't really need because there's no French navy to be fighting anyways. And with that done, let's go ahead and launch into an attack. Now, the reinforcement army, I want to use that in the outer assaults. I don't want to move him too close, but I also don't want Frederick Holzer to be intercepted, so we have to have one battle outside the town and one inside. So I'm just going to move him up just to the edge there. And then I'm going to have Holzer move in, and then he's not intercepted by this force, and so he can go ahead and attack. He's going to be able to bring in the reinforcement army as reinforcements, but I doubt I'll be needing that. This army, though, is heavy on the infantry. As we can see, it has a force of 7,390. The biggest armies I have are around 6,000, so it's about 1,000 men more. This army, though, Frederick Holzer's army, is heavy on the Jaegers, so that could be very well why there is a discrepancy here in about 1,000 men. They still have decent amount of cavalry. Didn't take the time to evaluate whether the Chasseur Cheval did any damage firing from horseback. I very much doubt they did. And yes, there isn't really much to say. Let's go into the battle and win it. And then I'm just one step away from the Battle of Paris, ending this campaign by crowning our king emperor. And so with that said, let's go ahead and fight this battle. The AI has once again decided to fight in a town. This time though, I would say they're more prepared in that they haven't been maneuvering around all over the place like they usually do. And you can see a slow walk in advance of the entire line, so I think we're gonna have a pretty good fight. The only thing that they've sort of missed is the fact that they've deployed their artillery. They've deployed them out of range of any of my units, or the fact that they've decided to, you know, have this battle in the middle of a bloody town. But it's a French town, so I'm not too worried. I'm gonna open fire with the artillery. Alright, first howitzer shot goes in, hits the house. That's not even close. There we go, that's what we want to see. Try and fire at the French soldiers rather than the poor baguette-eating bastards that live in this town. Right, you see I've deployed my troops into fired will line to make them as imposing as possible. However, we cannot fight in this style. We certainly cannot fight this way against cavalry, which is oncoming right there. So I will redraw the line like that. Similar on this side, of either side of the gun. These three can continue to hold that position. However, these need to go into normal lines. They're gonna be like that. I've got my dragoons back here. I've got the elite brigade, as much as of an elite brigade we got for this army. We got the hussars and the heavy cavalry out here. And given that they've got a cavalry coming up on its own, I'm gonna form a square here already. And let's just continue to bombard the enemy as they close in here. The town is in the way, so even though it might have seemed the first shot went straight into that farmhouse, we are trying actually to avoid. It would be funny now if we actually cut down one of the houses. The French seems undeterred. Continue to advance. Maybe I should specifically actually bombard a house to cut it down, just so that my artillery has an easier time firing at the oncoming enemies. Switch targets maybe to that Fusilier right there. Focus in on him, rather than firing on, I think this guy is the closest one. They're keeping a lot of reserves, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cavalry in reserve, plus the guns, which are not taking part in the battle. Okay, we got firing. My square here has opened up on the Chasseur Cheval, which I think is about to ride up and fire at the cuirassiers, which I don't like. So I'm gonna order them to fight them down, and you can hold fire at this point because you're probably just gonna shoot one of ours. I'm thinking here a large part. I think this line, because there's so many French troops coming through, I think this line will pull back. And because so many French troops, I might have We already have 3 units in reserve here. I should move the elite brigade to cover where the grenadiers are. Alright, we're getting some good hits, especially on this guy right here. He's taking some nasty hits. But he continues. Soon they should be within rifle range, and I'll have my rifles firing. The main line is of grenadiers now opening up on a chasseur that is riding across the field here, taking heavy damage and seem to be going straight for the square. Oh, they're about to ride up and fire. I guess that was the plan. Didn't really work out for them. We'll order these guys into line now as this French unit is about to fire on them. I'm thinking I put the 6-pounder up here so I can have it on canister as the enemies come through the woods there. They would be easy targets. Right, the enemy has started firing here. I'm not particularly interested in having a long fight. There's so many French troops coming down there. Superior local force, yeah, that's I would say that's about correct. I'm just gonna check here, canister, that range, roughly. They have some of the French stopping to trade fire with the rifles. Rifles sitting up here just to hold the enemy away from my cannons, especially the howitzers. The French continue to march forward here. Taking some losses, but not a lot. And they're about to kind of outflank me here. But the thing is, there's a ridge that goes through here, so the cannon is just on top of the ridge. Alright, we have that unit coming through. The thing is, if I order a retreat of my infantry now, the French could stop and shoot us in the back and just annihilate us. So it's best to just hold the line as it is. The French are coming really close here. I might need to get some extra troops in here. As they just fired, I'm going to order forward the infantry to station them right behind the guns. And I'm going to order these two forward so that they aid in the fight here. I'm hoping these guys will be able to fire above. Okay, the French just stopped to fire back at us. And devastating this one, just lost 60 men. I'm hoping this will work out. It could be that now that we actually have... I don't think it's working that well, actually. It depends. It could be the French firing on us. There's a high concentration here. I will order the rifles back, and I will order the lights to open up, and then the 6-pounder will switch to canister.
Sir! Sir, our general is under attack.
We should prepare to aid the grenadiers here. To set up, to prepare that. Okay, the center fell. The enemy center, that is. Oh, they're coming in hard here. I do have the dragoons ready to pounce. But there's so much going on so many angles. Ah, goddammit, they attacked the guns. Otherwise, canister there at that range. Quite devastating, I must say. Right, the elites getting into position. Oh, they're forwarding some of their reserve cavalry to attack us line. The line now. I want to pull it back, but I can't. Oh, the cavalry, they managed to find a route through to go after the cannon crew. I'm hoping the rifles is enough to stop them. Also here, but there's too many enemies right now for me to send in the...
Our men are running,
who's
sir.
running? Let's see. Grenadiers charged. This grenadier held. Good. For a little bit. Right, I'll order the grenadiers to fall back right now. They've lost 3. Even though it's risky, I'm gonna order the Kohlberg. The yeah, Kohlberg. I don't know.
Our men are running, sir.
Who's running now? These 2 on that side. 2, actually 3, lost on this side. Damn it. I will order the rifles out, and the enemy center going right at the cannons, they were completely lost. However, they're forcing their way through the flank there. The elites opening fire. And the lights. The 2 lights will move up here. The cannon crew is ready to take over. The grenadiers will be ordered over here. The enemy general decides to ride straight into the heavy cavalry.
Our men are running, sir.
Soon enough, this guy is going to run. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get these 3 to come around and plug this gap. Since the cannons, I'm sure, will hold that line on their own. Oh, you've rallied? Right, I want the rifles further forward so that I can get the cannon crew back on the guns, fire canister at the enemy. I still have 1 unit of rifles. What I'm going to do is I'm probably going to pull him
Our
back,
men are running, sir.
which causes him immediately to rout. I'm just going to order the infantry forward. Are they firing on my dragoons? Or the dragoons slightly back? Are you... if you want to do it that way, do it that way then. Right. Canister straight through, if you please. And the 2 infantry should move up like that. Actually, we can have you in reserve. Right, that 6-pounder able to fire here. They're so tired and they're advancing so slowly. Oh, you're leaving the guns again?
Our men are running, sir.
With, I don't think, properly... who's running now? One of those units. Here is actually going really poorly. I don't know if the howitzers are able to fire properly here. They're all, one by one, they're retreating over here. Right, we'll force the elites forward. And then the heavy cavalry, which should be done, should be moving to deal with the enemy on the flank. And I'm gonna move the hussars to come through here, and then the hussars together with the dragoons will take care of what's left down there. The 2 12-pounders will focus in on that cavalry that's coming through there. Are you even firing? So, 1 gun is apparently functioning. I'll move the general over here to rally with these. Right, the cannon was sent away. I'm gonna order the hussars to push through. And then the dragoon's gonna move in to try and just halt this. And hopefully my hussars will come in time to destroy them. The enemy, thinking they were victorious, it looks like the dragoons might handle this all on their own. The 9th hussar will swing out and attack, while the other 2 will turn and deal with this one. Right, before they go ahead and turn here, the heavy cavalry will attack, and my artillery will now focus in on the enemy's artillery. I don't know if this one ever got a canister off. Kinda looks like it might have gone canister shot off, but who knows. Now it needs to hold fire anyways. And both those units need to pull back. Let's see, what have we rallied? Put them there, together with the general. The elite will advance, even though it's not really elite, it's just named units from a specific area of Germany. Right, the cavalry was able to send those guys away. Now I just need to reorganize a little bit and rally. So I've got these 3 lights will move up to hold these guys away. And then let's organize all the infantry behind with the general in the center to support. And then I've got all the cavalry ready to set up here, and the guns to deal with this unit, which is the closest. And then the heavy cavalry is very tired at this point, dealing with the French grenadier.
The men are fatigued, sir, and must rest a while.
Focused fire on that bastard's gonna do plenty of damage, and now when the rifles come up, that should do even more. This one is this was a really heavy fight, because so many of my troops were forced to rout. Fire on that one. It looks like I do have lost a few guns. Crew shot down on that one. This one hit by enemy cannons. And this one lost crew. And obviously this one was completely sent away. Right, the heavy cavalry should retire. They're very tired and low on troops. One is down half. Oh, and you just now arrived. Winded. Right, set up there. You guys are not firing through. Where are you going? Set up right there. You are over there. Okay, as much as I would want to continue to fire on that one, I guess I'll attack with the troops like that then. I'm gonna move the entirety of the cavalry around the impassable and the obstacles they put here, and then come and swing it down on the artillery here. And hopefully we should be able to destroy them. What it looks like right now is, I mean, we've got very little resistance left, but at the same time, I've very little resistance left in me as well. These guys are going to rout any second now. Good. So now it's only going to be about taking out the artillery, which should be easy enough if we can actually find a way to target them. dismounting the dragoons didn't work at all. I'm not entirely sure why they're forced into this type of really odd formation. And then they basically turn into some sort of Gatling gun. I'm not entirely sure. And look at this. I'm moving them like that, like a single cavalry unit. I would safely bet that you're not supposed to actually use them, the dragoons, dismounted, because this is a little bit weird. Here's the result of the battle. Apparently I deployed a total whopping 15,000 men for this battle against 7,000 of the enemy. The enemy lost it all. I lost 2,500, which is one of the highest casualty rates I've had. After the battle I remain at 12,000 or close to 13,000. In terms of friendly fires, they're not too bad. The enemy killed about 2,400 and I lost 2,550, so 150 friendly fires, roughly. When it comes down to kill, cuirassiers, musketeers, cuirassiers, hussars, dragoons, musketeers, grenadiers. Unfortunately, the 6-pounder gun was screwed over and didn't get canister. Otherwise, I think that one would end up pretty high here on the list as well. And I should say, after the battle, I did test because you can dismount the dragoons and the cuirassiers and the hussars. So I tested it out. Only the hussars actually work in proper line after they're dismounted. So it seems like the medium and the heavy cavalry, like the dragoons and the heavy cavalry, they for some reason clump up in one clump and try to form in one of those cavalry formation squares or arrows. It looks more like an arrow. They all try to form up in just one of those. Not entirely sure why that is. Kind of odd that it is the dragoons that we sort of figured this out, that they were bugged this way, because you'd figure the dragoons were the ones that's supposed to be, you know, they're supposed to be the dismounted infantry. But nonetheless, it was a victory. Since I don't know if this has anything to do with the fact that I'm not used this army a lot, but it didn't go too well for it. Or it could be also. I think it's a combination of the fact that the French actually were able to do a proper advance like they're supposed to. That they're supposed to do, while this army not being as veteran as some of the others. Although when I look at the top units here, or at least I mean, it's no surprise that the cavalry and the cannons are veterans. But if I go and look at the infantry, I'm sure that they are. There's a lot of 2s, 3s and 4s, not a lot of 5s among them, but maybe the infantry for most armies aren't that, actually. Yeah, this one also has 2s, but could be then maybe that the elite brigade isn't actually that elite. It's basically regular infantry. This one, West Prussian infantry, which I put in the quote-unquote elite brigade, has actually worse accuracy than the infantry unit just above him. So it's just an infantry unit with a special name. Oh, the road system in France is terrible. What's going on, France? I guess we'll keep this as a factory. This I do not need. We'll build that into a trade port instead. Factory, I guess, or a musket gunsmith. A gunsmith, or recruitment. That I don't recruit in this region anyway, so that's pointless. Go with factory then. We take over a French province and then we start to turn it into something useful. Let's go ahead and repair it, and then we build it into a you know, regular whatever, you know what I mean. The spy is no longer needed here, so he'll head west, and then we go ahead and kill these guys. So I'm gonna move you first, and then we're gonna move you up here, and Kaufmann. No, that wasn't Kaufmann. The reinforcement army, then Kaufmann, and Kaufmann will be the one to move in, and then everyone moves into reinforcement range. The French retreat, and I'm sure the second one will retreat as well. And with that, we will pursue with everything, and Kaufmann will be the one to strike. So it will be interesting if I could actually see. Okay, I will. There's 4,000 in Kaufmann's army. He will be reinforced by 24,000 men, roughly, against about 6,000 French. They have no chance of victory whatsoever. We still managed to lose a total of 5,000 men during the battle. 28,000. Yeah, that makes sense. I said 24,000 reinforcing and 4,000 in Kaufmann's army. So 28,000 men against 6 D'Artagnan Murat. Okay, right. And about 7,000 actually French. They didn't lose everyone. Highest kills, yeah, it's spread out to the point where it becomes nonsense. No units lost anywhere, but also we didn't completely destroy that bastard. Lichtenberg, which according to the lore has a little bit of a rivalry with Kaufmann, goes ahead and goes, oh, he didn't even manage to chase them all down. Then that's on me and my reinforcement army. And he performs rather. There's only 300 French troops, and then somehow managed to inflict 2,000 on Lichtenberg. How does that work? Musketeer units lose tons of troops. But it was 300 enemies. How in the bloody hell does that work? However, he succeeds. Right. Courageous leader for Lichtenberg. Steady under fire for Hannes. George Willem gets steady under fire as well. George Willem gets attacking general. And Lichtenberg gets aggressive attacker. Maybe I shouldn't have led with Kaufmann. Kaufmann is my highest ranking general in terms of the stars. He's a 6 star. Lichtenberg is 5. Then we've got Hannes is a 5 star. We've got George Willem, which is a 4 star. And then Otto Kellerman, which is a 5 star. I should move. Who has the most movement points? Someone needs to kinda double back a little bit. Try and just cover that if the French go ahead and do a turnaround and move towards Strasbourg. I very much doubt the French will attack me, so I think we'll go ahead and at least claim Marseille in this episode. So I'll end turn. Then we move down and occupy Marseille, which means that sort of all frontier provinces is under our control. And then with one turn done, this will be built, more or less. And if I wanted, then I could move back to here to resupply. I'd probably get the best resupply if I head over to the Dutch. But that would be rather odd, wouldn't it? We're ferrying tons of troops through Dutch territory. They are our ally, though. They used to be the French allied, but I'm not sure what happened there. Oh, now we've got bankruptcy and heavy war weariness, to the point where we're looking at the French populace ready to cast down the rulers in Paris. Francois-Paul Marly. But I'm not going to stop until I've captured Paris. They haven't even used these two construction sites. I think one of them is a castle, but they should have built... I don't know what they built. What would they build for this time period? I mean, I'm guessing because we built the same as you do normally. Then I'm guessing they should build the Arc de Triomphe. Did the Austrians ever build there? I think they did, didn't they? The Russians should have built theirs, shouldn't they? Yeah, a little bit of a statue. Right. Let's go ahead and end turn then and see if I can't... Oh, here's a farm I can upgrade. And then attack Marseille and take that over. And this is what we're looking at after the end turn. I've gone ahead and repaired this. Actually, I said I was going to switch it. That's stupid. I need the replenishment rate from this, so we'll keep it. We are now within marching distance of Paris itself, and the populace have been quelled temporarily, possibly because they put Napoleon III in charge of the defense of Paris. But that's not where I'm going right now. I'm going to go down here and I'm going to demand the surrender. And the peaceful occupation of Marseille. Semi-peaceful, because somehow we managed to still burn down the... Well, we burnt down the military, or damaged the military infrastructure, while we got the populace to... they haven't built out this... What has France been doing? They don't do anything. Oh, look at that. They have some units. So, the coward and this army is back. I'm surprised. How do the borders go here? The border of France goes all the way out here, so you can this guy can still receive reinforcements here. I can just send two of the reinforcement armies, both the reinforcement armies could go in and block that, and then the rest, then Kaufmann, Lichtenberg, Holzer, and George Wilhelm could all march down on Paris for the final battle and the end of this campaign. Wonderful. We won't be fighting at full strength, but I think that might just add to it. And maybe what we'll do for the final battle is we, even if we manage to destroy Napoleon III and its armies really quickly, we still play it so we allow for, actually, I don't know, the resupply. What I could do is I could move them all forwards to the point where they're not going to intercept, and then I could attack this army separately, and then this. Or maybe that's adding too much work, unnecessary work. Right, there's nothing left for the French. What is their situation right now? They're still affluent. There's still... The bankruptcy is slowly going down. I guess because they're freeing up quite a lot of cash just because of all the troops that die. They don't have to pay them anymore. War awareness is very high. I'm surprised it didn't increase when I took Marseille. So a big part of France has fallen. And next time we'll take Paris. And then it's all ogre, as they say in the swamps. And with that, I will be saying, like I always say, hopefully you guys enjoy this, and hopefully I'll see you guys for the next one. Bye.